doing a simple interest calculation. So the first thing, when I'm talking about simple interest, I'm always going to use a formula. Okay, so simple interest means that I've invested the money into the bank and they'll only ever use that investment to calculate interest. Okay, so they're actually not going to care that after 1 year I had earned interest and now I'll charge interest on that as well. What the only thing they're ever going to do is they're going to think about my initial sum that I invested. And that's why, in a way, it's so simplified. It's not as good for the saver. You're not earning as much money in terms of interest, but it's a very simple calculation because I'm only ever working off of one figure. Okay, so the formula that I'm going to use is principal by time by rate. So if I'm to talk about what each of these means, so my principal is just the amount being saved multiplied by the number of years multiplied by the percentage rate of interest. Okay, so that's what that means. But we're going to just focus on my principal by time by rate because it's much easier to remember as a formula. Okay. The other thing in these questions that I have to be really, really careful about and really particular about is reading the question very, very carefully. Okay, so what are they asking me for? I can be asked for, I suppose, the information to be given back in two different ways. So the first way will be they'll ask me for the total amount, which is known as the balance, and that means what I saved plus all the interest earned. The other thing that can be asked is that they might just ask me for the interest. Now, if I do all the correct workings and I put the wrong answer in, it's a real shame. So I have to read my question carefully. So what are they asking me for here? It's the total amount in the bank. Okay, so I'm going to start away and I'm going to say principal by time by rate. So that is my principal, which is €1,000 is what I saved by 3 years at 4% simple interest. Okay, so multiplied by my 3 years multiplied by my 4%. And all this is a very simple calculation, girls, to tell me that I invested my money, I had it in there for 3 years, and the interest that I earned was 4%. So when I get that, I get €120 for my answer. But what have they asked me for? They've asked me for the total amount. Okay, so what did I originally invest? So I had €1,000 invested. Now I should have earned €120 in that investment. So overall I have 1,120. So that's what I put in the box. Very, very straightforward. So I'm going to do one more. Principal. And I would always write in the formula, girls, because just in case something goes wrong at some point, you can come back to the formula to get your marks. So principal by time by rate. Jerry had saved €5,000 for 2 years at 3% simple interest. And again, they're looking for the total amount in the bank. So my €5,000 multiplied by my 2 years multiplied by my 3%. So what do I get? I get €300. That's the interest that has been earned. I'm adding my €5,000 onto my €300. And overall, at the end of this, my 2 years, the total amount in my bank account is €5,300. €300. And that's simple interest, girls. Thanks for listening. Bye.